Hello and welcome to this episode of No Blasters with me, Kieran Bartlett. Today's guest is comedy hero, comedy legend, Colin Murphy. Thanks for being here. We're going to get into this in a wee minute. I have a read to do, so let's talk about our sponsorship today. Today's episode is sponsored by Doogie's Goodies. You all know it, you all love it. They love you, we love them. There's a lot of love going around. Doogie's Goodies is a sensational bakery in Ballymena. They do buns of all kinds. So in this box, a wee box of goodies that they've sent, there's a coconut and jam haystack type thing. There's a caramel square of some kind. There's a homemade wagon wheel. Now, Frosty loves them, and that's the chocolate, cream chocolate, French fancy. Colin can't believe that this is where stand-up comedy has gotten to. And then in this box, they've sent wee personalised cupcakes, which they do. So there's a wee Kieran Bartlett, and it says "missed you" on it because I've been sick. And then they've got Colin Murphy, and it says "the legend" on his ones. So if you go over to doogiesgoodies.com, you can order stuff like this. You can order anything you want there, really. They do amazing cakes. They do this slab cake that's like, you can buy it in slabs, and it's like a white cake. It's just unbelievable. It's basically the best birthday cake you can get. You can get names and stuff put on it. You can get photos put on it. They do them in the shapes of numbers and various other shapes. You can buy them on like big boards and all, and they decorate the whole board. It's unbelievable. Give them 48 hours notice if you're wanting anything like that, and you will get it. Here, I'll tell you what else. It's cheap as chips. Like, it's nowhere near as expensive as it should be. It's unbelievable. Get on it. They're also selling these in loads of shops now as well, so you can go onto their website and check out what shop is near you. It's a brilliant time. We love it. Just to be clear, I don't actually eat everything they send, which is what some of you think. Scum. If it did, I wouldn't be here. So some of you are going, well, you weren't here for 4 weeks. Whatever, right? We're also sponsored by Manscaped.com. Manscaped.com provides the very best in male below the belt grooming. I am talking about Champions League pube removal, right? This is unbelievable. I actually need to use the wee weed whacker because I'm 37 now. For whatever reason, no one knows, right? For whatever reason, ear hair, nose hair, eyebrows, they're growing at a rate unseen, unheard of before. So that the weed whacker's good for those things. You can get the hedger, which is one of the wee razors. They do the handyman, which is like one for doing like wee lines and wee awkward bits and all. And then the hedger's good for your beard. And then they have one, the lawnmower 5.0 with skin safe technology, so you don't rip the bag of yourself. Now, if you want, it's unbelievable to be fair, right? If you want, you can go on to manscaped.com, use the code NOBLASTERS20, that's the word NOBLASTERS, all one word, and the number 20, NOBLASTERS20, 20% off and free shipping with that code. I highly recommend the ball wipes, the ball deodorant, and I highly recommend, if you want a wee selection of everything, the performance package. It's a great time. We love Manscaped, they love us. They do wee silky undies and all as well. It's unbelievable. You can get some of this stuff in Tesco now as well, but go on, get it straight from the... Dan hates that.
You can't use our code at Tesco, so
you can't use it. You can't use the code there. So use our code and you'll get it cheaper than you can get it at Tesco. Tesco, we win. Now, how's it going? It's been an eventful start. What's sunk you about the buns?
It was right. No, yeah. It was the
presentation of the buns.
Shopping presentation and as you're opening the box, look at these delicious buns, and your T-shirt is clearly visible above it. It's like Home Shopping Channel.
It's unbelievable.
It's filthy home shopping.
Yeah. Here, mate. I'll tell you what. I want to make a gift of some of this to you. At least take your own cupcakes home.
I will.
They're unbelievable.
That's actually very nice.
They're a great time.
Can you eat those things with the photographs?
Yeah. It's edible icing. Yeah, like edible ink.
Oh, okay.
It's great. Do you know what was class? They took us around.
Does it come out then? Can you see that? That's not something to see at the other end.
No, it would be weird.
You just see your own face. You're just
shitting your own head. They took us around the backstage area of the bakery. I don't know, the kitchen. And it it was unbelievable because they had like a whole squad of people. It was amazing, and it's massive. And there was this bowl. I will never forget the bowl because I was so heartbroken by it. So it was a bowl of all the bits that get cut off edges and all. These would have been known in the old days as clippings, right? Okay. Now, all these wee bits. and the Frank, the guy running the place, was like, "Do you want some? Do you want some of this?" And I was like, "No." And he went, "Why? Like, it's great." And I went, "I know it's great. You're handing heroin out to an addict here and going, do you want some?" And I'm going, "No, I'm fine."
The wee crunchy
all wee dirty bits.
Yeah.
And now what they've started doing is, I believe, some of that type of stuff, they're now using it in like this wee dirty bucket. They make you a wee bucket of it and put stuff on it. I haven't had any of it. Do you know what? It's like, do you ever do this in your house? Do you ever go over to the fridge and just look at it for 5 minutes and go, and then close it and go away? I sometimes do that on the Dookie's website. I go on, look at photos and go, yeah, still there.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten something and then gone to look for it later? I've done this.
Forgotten you've eaten it?
Yeah. I've done it. I've done it a couple of
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
like recently, and it's the self-loathing that it causes is
You
like,
mean you're disappointed when you go back?
there's so
You're
many
expecting it to be there.
there's so many layers of hate because you go look for it, you hate that it isn't there, then you remember that you ate it,
Yeah.
then you're disappointed at yourself for not remembering, and then you're triple disappointed at how sad you've become. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the worst things that you can do.
You ever hide biscuits on yourself?
I've done it on Chloe. I did it right. So Chloe. This is recent. This is like last week. I bought us a couple of wee bars.
Sorry. Us.
I know I did. I bought us because I would be more of a crisp guy.
Okay.
But I haven't had crisps in ages now. 2 months up a hoods, right? I did have one packet of hula hoops, but they were stinking. I didn't even enjoy them right now. So I'm graduating towards like having a nut if I feel like something.
Ooh.
I mean like a peanut. Right?
If you feel like something to nibble on.
That's mental.
Num, 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 num.
And so I went in. Chloe would have a wee more of a chocolate, a wee sweet tooth. Yeah, a wee sweet tooth. So I got a couple of wee things, and she had one of them, and then there was 2 left. So there was like a wee Snicker, like a wee small Snickers,
Okay.
and a wisp of gold, right? And I basically did say to her, "You can have those. I'm not gonna have them." But she was like, "Hide them on me," right? And I hid them, but secretly I was going, "I'm gonna have one of them," right?
Yeah.
So I made her a cup of tea. So actually, what happened was say this happened on day 1. I hid them, right?
Did you hide them in a place that you thought she might find them? Give her a sporting chance.
I hid them in a place, and I asked her to guess where they were, and she guessed, and that isn't where they were. And I was like, right, that's good. And then the hiding place would be in what I would say is the second least used cupboard in our kitchen. Do you know what I mean? Like the cupboard,
What's in the most used cupboard?
probably like tins of food and bread and all is in one big sort of large cupboard.
Yeah.
And then
Second.
second cupboard, plates.
Plates.
Third cupboard, cleaning stuff.
Hold on.
Fourth
Plates surely
cupboard,
would be the
oils.
first one. Because you
No,
have to use plates.
sometimes we just eat off the counters. So there was then the 2 that I would say are least used. One has like the second least used one, which is where this was.
Okay.
Has like a nice teapot and a wee
right.
and a wee board for it and all.
Oh, wedding presents.
And that's very underused.
Yeah.
And we keep like biodegradable straws in there, right? Responsible.
You keep biodegradable straws.
We do, yeah.
Do they not biodegrade?
No, yeah, that's cute. So they're in like a wee airtight bag when you buy them,
Okay.
and then anyway, right. So that's in there, and then in the least used one would be like, it's a wee thin cupboard and it has like bacon trays and extra shelves for the cooker and
All
stuff,
brand,
right?
that kind of thing.
All brands in the cereal cupboard, which really annoys me. Like, and it annoys me even seeing it. It's one of those things where I open it and go, "You're still there as well." I don't like it, but anyway. So I said to Chloe, I've hidden those, and I hid them in behind that wee teapot, that wee decorative one that we never use, and I'm thinking no one will look behind there for it, right? And then the next night, after dinner time, I said to Chloe, I have a weird hankering for some sweet. Do you want anything? I was like, I might go and get one of them chocolate bars in there. And she goes, no, I'm not having anything. And then that made me go, I should behave as well. I'm not going to have anything. And then the next day, I made her a cup of tea and went to lift the chocolate bars to bring her one in with a cup of tea. And I was going to sort of go, I'm going to have the other one, right? They were already gone. And they were gone before I had said, do you want them the previous day? Scandal. Scandal. She had both of them.
You just sort of blatantly went, oh, no, I'm all right now.
Yeah, I don't really want to have anything sweet after dinner time.
Because then you would find out.
Yeah.
I'd have hidden them in the All Brand.
Unbelievable. That's
I don't
great.
even think you'd find them. Even though you hid them.
That's so good.
All Brand's the most depressing cereal in the world.
Isn't it? I hate
And so
it.
remember a kid you used to get a free gift with every single cereal. Used to be free
Yeah,
gifts.
yeah.
Never with All Brand. What
No.
can you do? What's
It's the bog roll.
I think no, like it's something like a charcoal
I know.
insole, an insole, an odorator.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
It is. It's definitely. It's old backed up woman cereal. That's what it is, isn't it?
just-
I'm a wee bit backed up.
I don't know. I think old ones couldn't even eat it because you'd be dead by the time you finished chewing it.
It's stinking. Like it actually, it probably distresses me more than any other cereal. Like even the one that's in our house annoys me. It's a wee bit like there's a tin of lentil soup in our cupboard.
Oh yeah.
And I think we moved it from our last place a year ago.
Really?
And I bought it. I think I might have bought it during the pandemic, but it's still in date. It's definitely still in date. I think it runs out
Why
later
did
this
you buy
year.
it?
I thought I'll have some lentil soup, and then I never have. Shy like Heinz. What was I wanted to talk to you. Have you seen? I saw a video this morning. Of Rishi Sunak. Have you seen this video? Have you seen this, Dan? Of Rishi Sunak saying that a lot of sacrifices were made during his childhood, which is mental because that's what I always thought about the Tories. You know, that they would sacrifice children. But anyway, it was a video where the guy says to him, you know, obviously you've grown up very wealthy. You know, people say you're sort of not relatable or you're out of touch. You know. And he goes, well, I grew up in a household where education was first and work ethic was drummed into us. We made a lot of sacrifices, you know, so I understand what people are going through. And your guy who says to him, could you give us an example? He goes, loads of sacrifices, we made loads of things like, and he goes, could you give us an example? And he goes, well, like, famously, we didn't have Sky TV during my childhood. And someone in the comments, which is the best comment I've seen in ages, was like, he was 10 when Sky TV became a thing in Britain, so he wasn't really sacrificing anything. Do you know what I mean? If he got it when he was a teenager. And that was his like attempt. And it really reminded me of the time where he couldn't use a chip and pin machine. And like he couldn't even tap the card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't live in the world.
No.
You are a lizard. Like you live in a glass box. Like he couldn't even use. If you can't do a tap, and then this made me think of a story. This is where my brain works, right? I'm on Rishi Sunak. I'm on the topic of Rishi Sunak,
Okay.
right?
He is a genius. In fairness, like
It's mad though.
it's totally like that D-Day thing, right? I think he got it confused with Dunkirk. Because he was out of there quicker than anybody else. He was like back in the boat.
Mad.
He's a very strange man.
He is. He's absolutely. He's a wee insular lizard.
Yeah.
But the saddest thing about him is that because of the job he has to pretend to not be that.
Man of
He
the
has
people.
to pretend to be normal.
Yeah.
And you're like, you don't even know how to pretend to be normal because you've never seen normal.
Yeah.
It's very weird. But anyway, that reminded me of a story I was telling a mate of mine yesterday about our Kevin, right? Our Kevin had this bank card. I don't even know if this is funny. I think it is. Our Kevin's one of these people. Kev is definitely one of these people who could live with a day-to-day problem in his life for years without fixing it. Like, I mean...
What sort of problem?
Like, say that the key on his front door doesn't really lock his door properly, and there's a whole palaver to get it sorted.
Okay.
Kev will live with that for years instead of just getting a new lock, right? This is when he was a student. He had a bank card that was literally held together by hope. Like there was nothing else. it was shattered, right? But the strip, the actual magnetic strip was still holding it. That's what was holding it together. The actual bits of plastic were all
And it was still going in the machine.
and so he would have to very gently like convince it into a machine, right? And then
Like
when
a drunk penis.
yeah, right. Shattered, held together by magnets, right?
Yeah.
So
Couple of lollipop sticks.
right. So you would do that, but then this is the best bit. This was at a time when, in order to swipe your card in a shop, like to use your card in a shop, they had to swipe it.
Yeah.
So he would, and I mean, he was doing this for months and months. Anytime he went to hand the card over to somebody, he would be saying to people, "This card's on its last legs. Can you be really gentle with it, like, and just
Like a drunk penis.
right?" Yeah, right. And I remember, so he went to uni in England. So they came home for Christmas this year. So I was maybe only like 14 or 15. He had this card, and Kev also at Christmas time does, and I've done it before, but it's a smash and grab for Christmas presents where you go, I'm going into town, I'm going to get everybody's present
Christmas
today.
Eve job.
Yeah, right. So this was actually on the 23rd, right?
Oh.
So we're going a day about Christmas Eve, right? So we're in there, and we'll go to HMV, which used to be Christmas present heaven, DVDs, books, fucking whatever, CDs, right? And so Kev goes around, lifts something vaguely, you know, you said you like Coldplay one time? There's our album, right? So I went around with him, we did all that, we lifted presents, and there's a lot of people in our family, so there's quite a lot of shit in this basket. And there's a big queue on, and as he's in the middle of saying to the guy, could you just be really gentle with that card? The guy just goes, whack, and it just went like everywhere, and Kev was just like, and I remember like he freaked out, and the guy, he was like, I was just telling you to be gentle with it, and the guy was like, sorry dude, it's like no, it's like totally broken, right? And you're like, sweet. And like every HMV guy, right?
What's the name of your band?
Yeah. And I remember he went round the bank, and they wouldn't give him any money without ID. And he was like, but I have the card and bits. And they were like, you need ID. And we had to go home and then go in again. He had to go home to get his ID, and by that time, you're just not getting back into town, you know what I mean, to the bank. And we had to go back in on Christmas Eve for that shit. Like, but that's all stemming from his love
being
of
too...
just I don't even know what it is, because he's not chilled about it. He
Yeah,
hates
but
having it.
everybody has that. Everybody has like your second favourite cupboard, your third favourite cupboard. You have a cupboard where you have to jiggy it a wee bit to get in. Everything in our house is like that.
There's a few things I got in our house.
Everything you have to keep from key. You have to.
There's a bit we got like a bit of what do you call that? What do you call that stuff in the hall?
Lino.
No, like the panel stuff.
Oh right.
Right.
With wall paneling.
Yeah, like a wee like, but it's like
Up to, as I swear to God, my wife's aunt used to call it the dildo reel.
oh my god.
And their kids never corrected her. And she was quite posh, and she'd walk around talking about the dildo reel in people's houses.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's Rishi Sunak actually has one of those in his house. It's a dildo reel. We got a bit of that done, and there's one corner of it. Uh-huh. And I'm not going to tell Chloe what corner it is, because I know I go home today and she'll be sanding it. There's one corner of it has attacked me about 4 times.
Right. What do you mean attacked you? What?
Like, I'll go to walk past it thinking I'm an athlete.
Right.
And it'll just go up beside you. We also had this. Do you remember the?
Sorry, your wall goes.
Yeah, well, that's what it feels like, because I look at it and go, I'll definitely fit through that space, and I walk, and then it just goes. I keep getting it here.
All right.
Like there's a wee bit there, but then there's a bit in our old place.
This is why cats have whiskers, so they can
They
judge
can sense these
distances. You
things.
need to grow this out a bit wider. Just
Go even more Taliban
Yeah.
with it. So we in the last place we had one of the door. I never know the parts of the door. So there's the keeper.
there's not many parts.
No, but
there's a handle on
there's
the
no.
door.
There's the on the handle. The latch is the bit that moves.
That's the bit that goes in and out.
Yeah. So one of the latches, or no, it was the keeper. One of the keepers.
The bit that it goes
into. Remember, it had that sharp edge. The amount of t-shirts and vests of mine ruined. Like, I mean, and I would get a new one and be like, "This is sweet," and you walk past and it just goes, and you're like,
So what was that story you just told about your brother? It clearly runs in the family.
No, but I would. The thing with me is that I would try to change it. I went and got the hammer and beat the fuck out of that keeper, and then which sounds like I'm a mad football fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I went and did that, and like it did fuck all. It was extremely melting, like.
So you're not a handy person and a DIY type person. You don't do things.
This is abysmal. This is true. Chloe is the man in our house. Like, I'm a housewife.
Yeah.
Chloe will be doing. It's like it's complete generational role reversal, right?
Yeah.
Chloe will be putting up a hanging basket on the side of the garage or something, or fucking out doing the garden.
Proper
And-
masonry bit and everything.
And I'm in.
I love that noise.
Chloe owns our toolbox. This is true. We have a toolbox. It's Chloe's. Like, it's all her stuff. It's all in her order. I'm not allowed to touch it. I being making shortbread. Like that's this is what happens in our house. That happened there. I was only about 2 weeks ago. She was literally out working away all day, fucking refilling part of the drive. And I'm in being like, I'm gonna make tomato soup from scratch today.
I'm gonna tell you, that's a fine sounding woman there. I tell you, that's the type of woman I'd be after.
She's a culture's dream, like. You know what I mean? She's my dream though, because I'm not good at any of that shit.
Oh, that's such a brilliant name for something. A culture's dream. It's just a free carvery. That's a real culture's dream. But yeah,
I love a carvery. I haven't been to one in ages.
Does it still exist?
I think
Hotels used to do them on a Sunday.
They're all over England. And Toby's Carvery, I've never been to it. We looked at one in Edinburgh about 4 times and never went to it, remember? Toby Carvery, yeah. Is it good?
I mean, for what you pay, it's great.
Yeah.
But it's not like gourmet food, but you get a lot of
carbs.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah. No,
I like it.
That. Yeah.
No? There's some things about it that I used to be quite distressed if you went to one and they had an ice cream scooper for potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
I would, they give you an actual ball of potatoes like you're in a kid's book. That would annoy me.
That's
now.
primary school. That's just that.
Isn't it? Yeah, just the actual, and you know that there's a wee bit of yesterday's potato in the workings of that scoop.
Or a wee bit of carrot and parsnip in it as well. As it's dropping.
I hear when you have those, if you were ever at like a Christmas do for work or something, and that people go, oh, it's silver service. And I'm like, silver service is actually shit. Like, it's shit.
It's generally some culture leaning in, going, carrots and sprouts. And yourself, sir. And yourself, sir.
And when they go to give you gravy, they do like, I'm not saying I needed to be
or else they
swimming
give you more. They start to look at you.
They judge you. They definitely...
and they go, you'll have a few more there, won't you?
Yeah.
No, I want more.
They definitely do that to me.
Yeah, you're building up there, fella. Come on, another couple.
Do you know, I've talked about this, haven't I? About the fact that when I used to go into Lavery's, people used to just bring food to me. Have I not talked about this? Yeah. Have I not talked about this?
You'll be needing this.
This used to do my fucking right. And people witnessed it, and it became like an actual, like an ongoing thing for a couple of months one time. Where like I would go into Lavery's, and this would maybe
you're going in as a punter or to do a gig?
As a punter, like say into it would happen if I ever went into the pool room as a punter.
Okay.
And then it would happen at gigs too whenever before Lavery's had that nice green room at the back.
Yeah.
When you'd have been sitting, there was like a curtained off bit, right? So like I would go in, and I remember one time going to meet a mate of mine for a game of pool. He was already there. I arrived. I still had my coat on, right? And they just come over with like 2 plates of nachos, and go, "These yours?" I'm like, "No, I am not even in here yet." You know what I mean? And they would come over like at times where they would just come back and go, "Burger," set it down in front of you, and I go, "What's that?" And they go, "Your burger." And I'd be like, "I didn't order that." I'd be like, "Fuck's sake, anybody order this then?" I'm like, "Do that before you just hand it to me. You don't know whose it is." They just would like come in and gravitate, like it was like gravity was bringing it to me. It was like the amount of times I thought, because it was already paid for as well.
Oh.
So the amount of times, because you have to pay for it at the bar, the amount of times I thought I could just have another dinner here and nobody would know except me and the doctor. Do you know what I mean?
It's like when you go to the theatre and people do the halftime drinks. And so you pre-order your drinks.
Oh, right.
And you come out and they're sitting on a shelf away from the bar. There's nobody there. And it's just got, the receipt on it.
So you could order a Carlsberg,
you just walk along,
left a wee mojito or something,
Just lift everything. And just head off, take the receipt with you. Then they go to the bar going, I ordered a mojito. Where's my mojito? And you're in the corner sucking away. Quick, get rid of the evidence.
Yeah.
Mojito all around here. I don't know, mojito. Can you do a mojito? I had the best jug of mojito in my life. I've only had one. And in Nevada, I think it was.
Oh, mental.
Yeah, in a Mexican restaurant in the mountains. It was brilliant.
Amazing.
And I have this big jug of Mexican. Oh.
Have you been to Vegas?
No,
I've never been. I'm interested in it though, but like I shouldn't be allowed in. I just want to see it. Do you know what I want to do? I want to watch other people bet, which is probably sad, isn't it? You're allowed to stand there and just look at them.
I've been in.
I haven't been in a real one. I've been in do you know what I've been in? A shit one that was not even a real casino. It just had some casino games that were like automated in
Oh, right.
in a snooker place that used to be on Lisburn Road, Windsor.
Oh, yes. Windsor
They
snooker.
used to have like a roulette wheel in there.
Yeah.
But it was all automated, but it was...
I went to one in Australia. Spent my 30th birthday, I think it was. I was over doing the comedy festival, and we went to the casino, and there's no clocks and the whole thing, and no windows, and I went in and I might have $100 Australian. That's what it'll bring. Everybody says, just bring that.
Yeah,
Don't bring
yeah,
anything else. Leave your card at home. Just do that. That's it. So I went in, and it took me 20 minutes to lose $80. And it took me 5 hours to win it back.
Oh, wow.
But I won it back.
Yeah.
And a wee bit. But it took a long time.
I love roulette. I love that. I love. Do you know what I love?
Playing.
You know when you see the wee ball moving.
Yeah.
I love that. The wee ball of everyone's dreams.
The ball of
dreams. And some people's dreams are more extravagant than others. Some people are betting on one number, which I think is fucking mental, right? They're going on putting us all on.
The other way to look at that is the ball of losing your house. That's what that is.
But like, I love
bingo. Do you like bingo? Do you like looking at the balls coming out? See, what's the difference there? There's loads of balls in it.
I feel that roulette it is a game of chance, but it can be a game of skilled chance.
The Bond films would have been very, very different.
Well, I know.
If it had been in a bingo.
And
he's in a tuxedo. And he's, Martini, shaken, not started. And he's down. No, he wants.
Yeah, Casino Royale.
Saying there.
They're not playing.
Bingo Royale. And he's outside having a scrap with some fella. That's the most ridiculous scene I've ever seen in a film. Where he goes outside, and he comes back in again, and he's fine. There's no marks on him.
Yeah.
And he comes back in, and he says, do it. And then he goes back out, I'll be back in a minute. And he heads out, and
Do you know what I hate in that bit? The guy...
He's not even
Felix.
out of breath. He doesn't even come in going... just again.
Just beat some cunt to death or something.
Bingo Royale.
The guy Felix in that scene, because he's the Felix and the French guy, the French cop, Mathis. They're both there, telling someone who already knows how poker works.
Oh, I can't remember that.
There's a bit. So they're telling the woman, Vesper. They're telling her, "Oh, if this is a jack, he's fucked." And you're going, "She knows that."
Yeah.
You know it. She knows it.
Playing.
We know it. Unless you're thick as fuck, you will know it. And even if you don't know it, you'll know it by the reactions.
Yeah.
So if it turns out it's a jack and he goes, "Fuck," you know he's fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like I hate those bits in films where two people.
Exposition.
But bad exposition.
Yeah,
really not. There's one.
Are you your brother's cousin?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
It almost always starts with, "As you know," and you're like, you would never say it to someone.
Yeah.
There's a bit in The Rock that fucking, oh my God, it winds me up so badly. I love that film because it is good but shite, which is something I love.
Right.
Like it's not going. We were talking about Mission Impossible earlier. It's not going to win an Oscar. You know, it's not that type of thing. It can still be a good time.
What was The Rock?
The Rock is Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery team up to take down a load of Marines who have taken poison gas rockets to Alcatraz Island, led by Ed Harris and David Morse.
I have not.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. John C. McGinley.
Excellent.
Oh, it's brilliant, right?
Was it written by a 9-year-old?
No, it's directed by Michael Bay.
And then. That's the pitch for that
and
film.
Connery,
and they team up. Any film where they say they team up, I just immediately go, no, next film, please.
And Connery is essentially playing...
Romeo and Juliet, team up.
Connery's essentially playing like James Bond as an old man. Like he's been arrested for shit, and this is what the conversation is about. So, and Nicolas Cage is like a lab rat, like he's a fucking scientist. So it's like he's there to take down the rockets. Connery's going to throw knives in people's necks, right? So there's a bit where...
But is Nicolas Cage talking like Nicolas Cage?
Yeah. I drive a Volvo, and bears one. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of... There's a couple of those
That's
lines.
not a science. You just trust him.
I know,
Who's in charge of taking on the weapons? Oh, it's Nicolas Cage. Oh, no.
Yeah. There's so many...
What's he dressed as Elvis? He has to be dressed in Elvis in every single film he does.
There's a whole thing with him loving the Beatles in this. He's number one, I'm a Beatles maniac. He's a Beatles maniac. He spent $600 on an LP. Foolish. Anyway, so great movie. there's a scene in it where the two people who are like old guys there's always that the war room in these movies.
Yeah.
So two of the old guys in the war room, and they've both been involved in incarcerating Sean Connery years ago for stealing microfilm that has like all the American like secret intelligence on it, like who killed JFK, what happened at Roswell, all these things, right?
Oh, the truth
Microfilm, right? And
he was sent to Alcatraz.
so that was part of it, yeah. Okay. But he escaped from Alcatraz, and so they need him now. He's in some other penitentiary now.
Because he's the only guy that knows how to get out of Alcatraz.
He's the only guy who knows how to fucking get in because he knew how to get out.
Oh my God!
Right, so that's the story. You would love this. It's.
I would love the commentary.
Yeah, you would love to sit and talk over it. Yeah. So there's a scene between these two guys where one of them goes, "This is for the sake of national security," and he's like, "No, it's the sake of national security that got us here in the first place." And he's like, "He does not exist. He does exist. We just chose to forget him for 30 years. We locked him up and threw away the key." And you're like, he knows. He knows. Stop it. Stop this. There's a line in it that I love where he says, during that conversation, where he says if he hits the streets, and he goes, "He's not going to hit the streets, Jim. 30 years ago, again, you would never say this. 30 years ago, he was a highly trained SAS operative. He's my age, for Christ's sake. I have to get up 3 times a night to take a piss." I'm like, let me have a role like that in a film. Hollywood, if you're watching.
You mean the opening bit of the A-Team?
Cast me as a guy who has a line in a movie. It can range from 1 line to maybe 3.
Okay.
But one speech where it's like, I say something that's class. Like, I have to get up 3 times a night to take a piss. I could be that guy. Yeah. I could be...
God damn it. You have to have God damn it.
I want a God damn it. Yeah. I would like...
A gun.
There's a line... There's a line in it... And there's a line in... It's a Wonderful Life.
This is a brilliant All-Bran ad, by the way. This would make a great All-Bran ad.
It's 2 people going, "I want to have a gun."
Yeah, I want to have a gun.
I need a shit.
I need to get up 3 times a night. There's only one guy that can get us in here. He's the only guy that got out of here. It's All-Bran. All-Bran can get through anything.
He's the only guy that can get us out.
This is just a load of feces in an
intestine.
Which is the war room, and they're all around there.
Unbelievable. So there's
God
a line,
damn it, booby.
There's a line in It's a Wonderful Life where the siren in the town who fancy she sort of likes George Bailey. She likes James Stewart, but he's like a bit weird and a bit more of like a free spirit. Yeah. She just wants a good time. She says she's standing with 2 other guys, and she goes, says something like, "Don't go anywhere," to them. She's just gonna go and see if fucking James Stewart fancies a ride, right? And he freaks her out by saying he wants to go for a walk with her out in the fields with no shoes on. It's very weird. Anyway, but there's a line in it where one of these guys she's with her, by the way, he's about 20 years older than her, just goes, "Well, wait for you, baby." I'm like, cast me. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for my 1-line bit. You'll remember me forever. "Well, wait for you, baby." I could
hey,
talk.
Touch.
I could talk all day about lines like this that have very distinct cadences from 50s movies.
Yeah.
There's one in Calamity Jane. Calamity's going through her big fucking, this is Doris Day, she's going through her big transformation from, she's basically like a fucking dude into oh shit, she's out now, as a woman in a nice dress, and all the dudes are fucking, right? And she has a wee dance card, and there's a line, she's writing people's names down on the dance card, I'll have a dance for you, I'll have a dance for you. And one of these guys just goes, "What you need is a bigger card." And I'm like, cast me. I'm ready. There's one in our Doris Day movie, and this is funny. And then I'll talk about something else, right? In another Doris Day movie called On Moonlight Bay, which is it was made in the 50s, but set in just before American Heathers, World War One. And that's all pointless information for you. The basic thing is, again, Doris Day's playing a bit of a tomboy, and her parents are concerned about that, and she goes out on a date with a guy across the street, and this is the first time she's been in a party dress, and her ma says to her, "Sometimes nature needs a little help," and she gives her these, they're like powder puffs, but she's going to stuff her. It's all done comedically and nicely, and you don't actually see the ma going fucking jamming it into the bra, right? And when she's dancing, one of the powder puffs fall out, and one of the guys who finds it walks over to her embarrassed and goes, And he just goes, "Excuse me, miss, I think you dropped this." And that's okay. But then she's like, she's ripped, and she takes it and runs to the bathroom. And then this is the guy I want to be, because it's again that distinct cadence where he comes over to her date with the other powder puff and goes, "Pardon me, your girl dropped this." And I'm like, get me in. I'm so ready. Any of those very musical lines in
This
movies.
is brilliant. You're indoors, right, watching Doris Day movies, making shortbread. Out the back.
No chocolate anywhere in the house.
No
right?
chocolate anywhere, full of All Bran, just the All Bran container stuffed full of chocolate. It's like kryptonite.
It's fucking unbelievable. There's so many movies that are like that, though.
On the wall, sort of waiting, attack you.
You were saying earlier, by the way, you went to see Pet Shop Boys last night.
Pet Shop Boys last night.
Where were they? Were they in the SSE?
SSE. It was brilliant. Mrs. got tickets for
full whack in the SSE?
Yeah, full whack.
Wow.
And they gave away a load of tickets to NHS workers.
Brilliant.
So, like 5 o'clock on Tuesday before, we've got all these tickets. Go, they're 20 quid or something.
Brilliant.
And so she waited 5 o'clock. So we got
Class.
3 tickets. And it was brilliant. The weirdest collection of people I have ever seen at a gig in my life.
It must be. It must range quite a bit of age as well, because like a load of young people like them as well.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
right? You know the way there's Facebook grannies?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a new one, Spotify grannies, right?
Right,
'Cause
right,
They were
okay.
there and they were in all their glittery stuff. But there was a DJ on beforehand, so there was like some, and up, I'm out there. It was all this, like, still got it, Jesus. And it was all this. And oil ones and sticks, and there was a woman with a neck brace. It was like a bus trip to Lourdes. It was just, and they were all like various stages of limping, but dancing at the same time.
That's mental.
And then a very heavy gay uncle vibe.
Yeah.
The gay uncle was brought in here. You take Martin out, he'd love that. And a certain amount of mums there with sons who really want a gay son, but he's not gay. A certain amount, he'd been dragged along. He's going, "I'm not gay." Just you love this. When you see Taylor Swift, "I'm not going to Taylor Swift." And a certain amount of that, and then very well preserved men of a certain age who clearly gym it and. But the oil ones, jeez, there were a couple of oil fellas, right?
Yeah.
And one of them definitely banged a knee, right? He
Oh, really?
definitely. And this guy, like, honest to God, he was 70 something.
Oh,
right?
Jesus.
Like Neil Tennant was the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
looking man in the room.
Wow.
And he's 70.
Yeah, is he?
He's 70 this year. And his voice was unbelievable.
That's mental.
Like properly unbelievable.
I still think of him as Neil Tennant from the late 80s, though.
Yeah. That's minus the hair.
Yeah.
But he's.
I wouldn't have thought he was that old.
His
Fuck
voice
me.
is unbelievable, and the show was brilliant. The lights, everything, just fantastic.
I have this wee fantasy about. I need to finish the sentence quickly, but about the sampling a couple of lines from West End Girls, so that it says, "In a restaurant, you're better off dead. In a restaurant, you're better off dead. In a restaurant." And if you can do that, anybody out there, give me a beat like that. And then just have it go, "In a restaurant, you're better off dead." In a restaurant, and just do that for about 30 seconds. I would love that. It's funny to me. there was a mate of mine did a sample. This was like years and years ago, when we were still in school, and there was a game called Music that was on. You could get on PlayStation, and you could make music on it, just using like wee sounds. But they were all like, it was like nearly any sound you can think of, but then he would make it on there and then take it and put that onto a computer, and then he could add lyrics and stuff into it, right? So he made this whole thing, and then, but it had do you remember, was it Robbie Williams and Nicole Kidman did Something Stupid by
yes.
Frank Sinatra?
Yes.
And I love this. This is still to this day one of the funniest things. Like, funny in a very certain nerdy, it took me 8 hours to make this kind of a way. Where it was just them just going, "And then I go and spoil it all, and then I go and spoil it all," and that was the chorus of this song. It was just fucking class. I mean, it's so stupid now, like looking back, being like, that was a few days for him. Do you know what I mean? Like sitting, making that, like, it was fucking great.
Simpler times.
Yeah. Pet Shop Boys, though, what, like,
it was always great.
my Pet Shop Boys, do you know, I was talking to Pete Sloan about this not that long ago. I know, yeah. I'll just,
Is it though?
we sometimes, I know, we sometimes message each other just to talk about Pet Shop Boys. But I was saying, like, I love, they have a song, You Only Tell Me You Love Me When You're Drunk.
Yeah.
Did they play that?
I have no idea.
No, I love that. And he was saying it's his favourite Pet Shop Boys song as well. But I like that. But one of my sisters was very much, thought she was Neil Tennant.
Right. In what way? She loved cock. No? That was done in a 1950s cadence. That girl there loves a lot of cock. I tell you, she can't get enough of it.
A knock came at the door. It scared me out of my secretary. That's fucking... You've actually literally reawakened whatever's happening in my ear with She Loves Cock. So she would sing... This is going to be... I think this is hard to explain how funny this is. She would take herself quite seriously, right? And so she would sing along to the Pet Shop Boys in a very direct, I'm singing as Neil Tennant sort of way. Like like po-faced and the, in Sababia, right? Yeah. And you're just going, what's wrong with you? But she would... Her taste in music, mate. So she would sing like Neil Tennant. She would sing like Michael Ball. Whoa. Do you remember when Ball would have been doing the Les Miserables type?
Is that a musical theatre in your house?
Yeah. Our house was essentially a musical drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she would have, imagine walking around your house singing the song from Les Miserables, Empty Chairs and Empty Tables, which is when the guy realized, here they talked of revolution, right? And like she's walking around doing the dishes. That's mental. Like that's totally fucking mental. But I thought everyone's doing this in their house because I was a wee boy. But like then you grow up later and you go, do you ever see when your mom or when your sister's walking around pretending to be Michael Paul? People are like, what happens in your house? She would sing out that, what is it? Empty chairs and empty tables, now my friends are dead and gone. You're like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's so weird.
Do you know what was brilliant last night? You were talking about the way she used to be Neil Tennant. Was that Neil Tennant is a 70-year-old man and behaved like a 70-year-old man on a stage.
Really?
With decorum. And he walked across, he was brilliant, and he just walked around having a nice time to himself.
Did he have a big coat?
Yeah. Pet Shop Boys are terrified of bad weather. The two of them had coats, an endless supply of anoraks. It was indoors. Anoraks, shiny anoraks. And there was no doubt, fellas, you knew they were trying to keep it in, but you'll never you won't feel the benefit, Neil. Take it off. But he behaved like a 7-year-old. He was like enjoying himself, having a nice time. But he wasn't like, showing his arse or, doing a Mick Jagger or, that's just pathetic.
I know,
they still think they've got it and you're going, yeah, you might have a bit of it. But
do you know what's weird? I love Sting, right? I know I'm not going to talk about this for very long time, don't worry. But Sting is probably in between those two things.
Yeah.
Because he's probably not as chill as Neil Tennant.
But sure, not there.
Yeah.
Or the worst one of all, his worst look ever. Waistcoat, nothing underneath. The Alibaba look.
The way, right. See that, right. Have I talked about that before, about the waistcoat? Now, this is going to sound like I did it. There was a band who would have played in one of the bars that I gigged in before. So they either played before me and Johnny, or sometimes we played at the same time, and we played in one room and they played in another, right? Mm-hmm. And these guys, like, so if me and Johnny were like 22, 23 at this time, these lads were in their 50s, right? And everything they had was wireless. Everything. It was all wireless. Yeah. So, like, they can walk around the bar with their guitars. Ooh. And, mate, waistcoats, no top on.
Oh, were they from here?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And mate, they're playing like
BCG marks.
They'd have been playing. They'd have been playing.
They'll have a nice. I've got one of my big BCG mark there.
They'd have been playing like. What like music?
Sorry, hold on. It was a band.
It was a 3-piece band.
So what are the instruments? What are the instruments?
Guitar, bass, drums, and the
drummer wasn't walking around, was he?
He wasn't walking around.
Oh, that's okay.
He sat, the bass player and the other guy, and they all had Britney mics.
Okay.
So this guy would fully go over. You could be sitting.
I like to call those call center mics.
You could be sitting. You could be sitting at at table having a drink
Yeah.
or eating something, and this guy will come over and shred a solo into your face, right? Now,
In a waistcoat.
with
In topless.
and I wouldn't say. I mean, none of these guys were fat,
Buff. With the buff.
but they also weren't buff. They were just dads. Do you know what I mean?
Dad bod in a waistcoat.
And but it was they were maybe slightly more buff than what you think when you think of dad bod.
Did they have hair?
Two of them did. One of them
Which
didn't.
two?
The bass player and the drummer both had hair.
So the boy that isn't moving has hair.
The guy
He's-
the guy who didn't have hair was their lead singer, and he looked some of the things they used to wear. Do you remember the Legion of Doom wrestlers?
No.
He looked like one of them. He looked a bit like Zangief from Street Fighter. I'm trying to think.
Think
I know,
70s.
I know, yeah. Well. Listen, some of the stuff that they played, they would have played the stuff that people would have asked me and Johnny for. We would have been like, never. Like T-Rex, Doctor Hook.
What? Dr. Hook?
This is shit people ask for. Rod Stewart. We never played any Rod Stewart. I don't like him. Like
He's got a train set.
they played ZZ Top, Status
ZZ
Quo.
Top.
Yeah, all that type of stuff.
Best request ever made was to a guy I know who used to DJ in a uni in Limerick.
Right.
And this boy came up to him, and he leaned, he says, "Oh, look at that," he leans down, he says, "Have you any Rage Against the Machine, boy?" Rage Against the Machine, boy.
That's fucking unreal.
Yeah.
That place was a strange wee. That was a strange wee.
What was the
bar.
band called? The Topless Band?
Oh, I don't should have named them. Red Hot Roosters.
That's a terrible name.
There was a lot of.
That's Big Red Cocks.
There was a lot of. Well, that's probably what they were saying. Like, they were nice. They were nice lads. Like anytime I spoke to them, but like, I wouldn't have spoken
They're
to them
probably
that often.
dead now, anyway.
Fucks.
In fairness.
Or in a home, but they were like. I mean, they were
Topless in a
definitely
home.
just sitting there
With
being
their
like, I used to be in the Big Red Cocks. They were extreme for the size of the bar. This was see for the size of bar it was, and there was no other band like them. By the way, that played in that bar.
Sure there was.
Every other band like, so me and Johnny would have done 2-piece stuff in there, and then we also did 3 and 4-piece stuff in there where we added bass and drums or just drums, and it was all very like our stuff. We were nearly doing like we'd have done more soulful covers in there than say in
more
town.
artistry about it.
Wee bit more artistry. You'd have got a Marvin Gaye out of us. You know what I mean? You'd have got got some of that shit. You'd have got wee acoustic versions of songs you weren't expecting. A wee bit of Daft Punk there. Digital Love acoustically, right?
Meanwhile, they're disappointed because they're not hearing the songs that they want to hear.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah,
Not playing Dr. Hook.
oh absolutely.
Raging.
Me and Johnny definitely had a problem with. Let's do.
Feeling, we are feeling.
Me and Johnny definitely had a problem with being like, I know they want Rod Stewart, but we'll just do more Sting. And so
More Sting.
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, we played so much Sting in that band. And
Did you have a thing in your? No.
oh no, we standard mic, standard guitar, sitting,
this.
standing, no fucking around.
No.
I would never want to walk over to somebody
Here's a tiny
mid
thing that
song
you as a
and
singer-
grind.
As a singer with your call center mic,
Yep.
you can't do the Celine Dion.
No, you can't do that.
Do you have to sort of bend it out? Like
I know. I don't know how it works really. I've never really used it for singing. I wouldn't want to. I've had it on me
answering the phone?
in plays and stuff. Yeah, had it on me in plays, and I've had it. Yeah, I would have actually have sung into it, but not. Yeah, you're not doing the.
Yeah, you can't do
You're
that.
not doing the Aguilera fucking. You know when I was.
Yeah, comedians had a phase of using them.
Yeah, Bill Bailey uses one.
Yeah.
We saw him earlier.
Well,
this
that
year.
makes
It was
sense
funny.
because
He's everywhere.
Yeah,
like he does move around a lot.
Yeah.
To be fair, like piano, guitars.
But I like the things you can do with a microphone. I like when you can go in and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can do all
get
that.
different sounds out of it. Yeah, I don't
love
think
all
I
that.
don't think you can really do that with
You
it.
can't do with a
Yeah.
the needles will go.
What? So here, tell me about your new show in the Opera House.
Jesus,
I love a seamless segue, right?
Seamless.
But we're running out of time here because I am starting to my body's in Hollywood, my brain's in Bangor. I'm so dizzy right now. Right?
Oh, right.
So
Your inner ear.
yeah, it's weird.
I had an ear problem earlier in the week.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm that age.
Are you at that age where the doctor says stuff to you like?
Yeah.
weird weather we're having. You know you're fucked if the doctor starts talking about the weather. Look.
And slightly louder.
Yeah, yeah.
You can hear him on the phone going, yeah, that's dead on.
It's like it's.
Well, you're here now. Good to see you. Still standing, I see. Ha ha. All this sort of stuff.
Do they ever just tell you a problem that you have now? Is that's the way it is now? You know, you maybe go on with the gammy knee or something. They're like, that's your knee now. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's better than having no knee.
Heart one had that. So I have to take tablets now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got pre-hypertension apparently.
Oh, shit.
Everybody's got pre-hypertension.
Everyone.
That's before hypertension.
Every.
I'm pre-pregnant. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. What sense does that make?
That's great.
You're pre-dead. Yeah, there's a lot of that. So yeah, and the show is not being
Great,
about that.
great name.
Is Murphy Buku.
Murphy Buku. That's fucking great.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, tickets available now.
Tickets all available.
GOH. Is that where you're selling them?
2-3 nights. Not starting it there, but just too many of those to sell.
The tour's out as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a tour starting in January, so we're sort of getting all those dates, and they'll be coming out.
Class.
And so there's the end of February, was it 27th, 28th, and then the 1st of March. So that's a Friday, Saturday, or Friday, something like that. And then up in Derry in May.
The link is in the description.
Oh, there we go.
Kill it.
And in the Millennium in May as well.
Brilliant.
But yeah, so it is. It's lots of stuff about getting older, because I thought I'd escaped it all. And then it is all that. Exactly what you're saying. You go
pre-hypertension's funny.
You go to the doctors and they're just doing that sort of crap, and you're talking about wrestlers as a description of something that you remember when you were young, and I'm going, I don't even know who that
The
is.
sad thing about my points of reference to things like that is anyone older than me won't know what it is. Anyone younger than me won't know what it is. People who are my age who know what it is probably liked it more than I did, so I just vaguely know about it.
Well, most of my frame of references are dead.
That has started happening to me.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. And you think, so there's a lot of that.
I believe that because I was the youngest in a large family that I am older before my time. Like
yes.
My points of reference are tied in. Yeah.
Yeah. There's all ones. I love you. Those boys in the home with the jacket, topless.
Yeah.
In their
our Instagram demographic starts with females in their 70s. You know what I mean? That's fucking mental.
Yes.
Would you be a Doris fan?
Just because it was at the Pet Shop Boys.
What would be like your go-to movies of choice?
I tell you what I don't like is musicals.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. I never could see the logic in them, because it's that thing.
When you just breaking the song.
Yes,
I love
that's the thing of the guy walking down the street. Hey, look at the guy walking down the street. Then somebody else goes, oh, look at the guy walking down the street. Look at the guy walking down the street. Look at the guy walking down the street. And then everybody knows the dance moves. All of them know the dance moves. There's guys there with brushes going, he's walking. It's like they're filling time. It's not adding anything to the story. It's the walking down the street song. And then at the end of it, they go, he's walking down the street. And then he walks into his house. And that's it. And the story hasn't moved on. You've just wasted 5 minutes of my life telling me about a guy walking down the street in 9 different ways.
There is actually, that's pretty accurate, to be fair, but I like that anyway. Do you know, like consider yourself in Oliver.
I was just about to talk about Oliver. Yeah.
There's a lot of brushes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of,
who will buy my beautiful phone?
I like that.
Oh, who will buy some lighters? It's not... who will buy a scratch card? There should be an updated version. Not by the way,
who will buy fucking? I was in Oliver.
Who will buy some bowl clippers? Who will buy some?
Who will buy is fucking funny though. Yep. To trying to get people. I just always remember. I actually met a guy there recently. It was in that play with me in school, and so there's a line. Artful Dodger. So there was still proud of it, right? So the in Who Will Buy, it starts off with somebody going, "Will you buy? Who will buy my sweet red roses?
Oh, that's it.
2 blooms for a penny," right? And then someone else comes in as she's singing that. Someone else comes in with, "Ripe strawberries, ripe, ripe strawberries, ripe," and someone else comes in with like, "Will you buy?" It goes like, "Will you buy any milk today, mistress?" And it becomes like, it's all layered, right? And some fucking guy with a bass voice comes in going, "Knives to grind," right? When we were doing this, this guy who was a couple of years older than me in school, but I became good friends with him, and I bumped into him recently. The girl that was singing the "Will You Buy Any Milk" today, she didn't have the range, darling.
does she not have
right?
the range?
She didn't have the range, darling. Right.
Yeah.
So she would every time she would go to sing it, she would go like, "Will you buy any milk today, mistress?" Right.
On a repeat.
And so the teachers are like looking at each other going, we're probably going to have to change the key of this whole fucking thing because she is a teacher's daughter. So, right? So it was like, can't tell her she's not doing it. So we're going to have to fucking...
Give her the knives.
We're going to have to move... we're going to have to move the key, right?
Here, love. Give it to
And
us.
I remember, so the teacher goes, we'll move the key for you here, whatever your name is. I definitely know her name, I won't say it right anyway. Rhymes with Tozy, right? So she... We'll move the key here for you. And so they move the key and she goes to sing it. And I always just remember, this is one of those things that's really funny to me, even though it's like 25 years ago or whatever. But like the guy that I was mates with and him and her did not like each other at all, right? And so he's just sort of sitting beside me going, fucking steal this cunt, right? and they go, right, we'll move it here for you. And I always remember, she goes, will you buy any? And he just goes, Meh! Like that, right? And everyone in the place just went, looked straight round at him. She's fucking ripped. She's standing there like raging, ready to
during
fucking...
the show?
Oh no, like just during rehearsal. Right. And I literally, like, shirt up over my head, laughing my bollocks up, mate. They shouted at us for ages about that. About like, you are ruining her art. And we're like, she can't fucking sing it. So she's ruining ours. Like, we're here on fucking Saturday morning. You can't, like, come with, kick her out.
So
and
what age were you when you were doing?
12, 13. Well, I mean, here it's... The memories of that time are singed forever. Like, core memories. They'll never be deleted. Do you know what I mean?
We were... So I was at old boys school.
That sounded very old. We're at an old boys.
Old boy, De La Salle Brothers.
Oh, fuck.
I know, yeah. Paramilitary wing of the Catholic Church.
Yeah,
and they, we did one musical and it had to be religious.
Oh, God.
I know.
What do you do? Jesus Christ Superstar?
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And see, I was doing art, so I was...
You're doing the sets and
I was
all
building
that.
the sets, so that was great. And, but all boys school, so Mary Magdalene.
Played, yep.
Yeah, that was...
Wee rent boy.
Yeah.
Sad. Some wee third years never living it down.
Yeah.
It's fucking grim.
Then he got all dressed up and then loads of boys were going, I'm not feeling like that. Yeah, a lot of that going on.
Unreal. Well, what was I going to say? Thanks a million for coming in. We are out of time. Dan wants me to say something. Oh, check out our Patreon over at patreon.com/No Blasters. This is the home of No Blasters Extra Time, which is a whole other podcast that comes out on Thursdays. We also put up information about shows, we updates. You get discounts on show tickets, pre-announcements and things like that. All our specials are on there. All the mock blooms are on there. Mysteries is on there. Smells Bitchin' is on there. Noodle Bar's on there. Everything is on there for £3. That's £6, but £3 a month. If you want to pay $6, you can, and then you can play against me on FIFA, which is a great time. And you get your own episode of No Blasters Extra Time. So check that out, patreon.com/No Blasters. Also, if you would like, when you're checking out tickets for things, I'm doing the Opera House, my new show, Phantom of the Opera House, is on in September 23rd to the 28th. 2 shows on the 27th, 2 shows on the 20th. Going to be lovely. We're about a third sold, so finance my lifestyle, please. If you would, get over to goh.co.uk and buy tickets there. Thank you for coming in. This has been great crack.
Enjoyed that.
Just finally, before we go, we did watch Phantom of the Opera the other night. The Jared Butler one. Fuck me, it's a hard watch. We're watching it. I'm not doing Phantom of the Opera. I'm doing that is a brand new comedy show. Yeah. But there's a couple of little elements where I'm gonna do some song stuff that I do, right? Some musical stuff. But we were watching it just to see, like, is there anything that we're missing that you could use for an idea? It's a hard watch. There is a bit in it where 3 people back to back sing. I can't remember the words, but it's literally like da 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 da. Really annoying. They're walking along, and it's Kieran Hines and Simon Callow, and then the guy who plays Rowley, I don't know his name. They're walking along, and it's like Is he in here? No, he is not. We must find him. And I was sitting there going, this is fucking melting. This is beyond Sound of Music melt. This is like, at least it has Nazis in it. Do you know what I mean? That sounds like I'm a fan of that. I mean, like, nuns, Nazis, and fucking Julie Andrews. What else do you need? Like, the Swiss Alps, great times.
Yeah,
I can't believe you don't like musicals. That does...
No, not really. No,
that does hurt me.
No.
I like the let's just start singing. Anyway, Dan's looking at me going, this podcast is finished about the same amount of times as Lord of the Rings. Thanks for being here. It's been a lovely episode. Thanks for coming in. Check out Colin's new show, Murphy Boku, link in the description. And we'll see you in the next one. Oh, love it.